we're going to take a look at coding challenge named Move Zeros. So what we're given is an array of integers, and what we need to do is construct a function that moves zeros in front, so to the beginning. So if you take a look at what the result of the function would bring us, so we have three zeros, so we would have 0, 0, 1, 1 as a result of the function. Take a pause and think about how you would solve this problem. Yeah, then we can do it together. Cool. So one way of solving this would be to maybe have two arrays, so zeros and the rest of the numbers, and we will just iterate over each number inside an array. So when we have 1, we just put it inside the rest array. 0, have another 0, 1, another 0. Now we're past an array, we're done with this. So we have two arrays, some bunch of zeros and the rest of the numbers. And what we can return is just array which is zeros plus the rest, like so. Now, if we talk about time space complexity, we could say that for time, it's O of n. N is the number of elements inside an array. And for space, we're creating an additional array, which is a length of current array. So our space is also linear, O of n. So this would be one way of solving this, but we could probably improve our space. So let's try this. Now, if we use two-pointer approach, so we have a fast pointer and a slow pointer here, what we can do is advance fast pointer and swap the numbers only if we hit 0. So now fast pointer points to 1, so we can advance. Fast pointer points to 0, now it's time for swapping. So we swap those two numbers. So we have 0 and 1. And we advance both pointers, so S and fast pointer. Again, it's 0. So we need to swap those numbers. We have 0, 1. We advance both pointers, like so. Now it's 1, we don't need to swap. And it's 0, and we need to swap. So we swap these two numbers. So we have 0 and 1. And we advance both pointers. So we have slow, fast pointer. Fast pointer points to, so it goes beyond the array. We can terminate the function or the loop. And what we have here is our array, which has zeros at the beginning of an array, which is what we want, right? Cool. So let's look at how this will look in code. Let's have an array of values 0, or maybe 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. So we'll have a function called move zeros, passing an array. I'll just print the result. Cool. So just for fun, let's implement brute force for solution. What we'll have is two arrays, so zeros and the rest. Both are empty arrays. And now we need to loop over each number. So num in array. So if num equals to 0, then we append these numbers to a zeros array. Else we append to a rest. Can be a rest. This. Num just have this 0 like this. Cool. And now after we're done with the for loop, we can just return zeros plus rest, like so. If we clean the output and run this function, we should have zeros in front of an array, in which we do. Again, this is not the most optimal solution. We have often time and space, right? And we can do a little better in terms of space. So again, move zeros, and we'll use the pointer approach. So both fast and slow pointer points to 0 at the beginning, and while fast is less than array's length, we can check if fast equals to 0, and we need to swap both fast and slow, like so, and advance slow by 1. But no matter what, we advance fast pointer. Cool. After we're done, we just return array, because we save it here, but we like more Pythonic way would be not to return anything, and just because we're mutating an array. Cool. Yeah, the only thing we need to do is implement this swap function here. So let's do this. Swap j. Like this. Cool. Right. So let's clear the output and run this code. It still works, but in terms of time complexity, it stays the same. It's linear, but space now, because we're just swapping values inside an array and not building any additional array, it's constant, like this. Cool. Okay, so next question, as an interviewer, he might ask us to change this code to implement moving zeros to the end of the array. So take a pause and think how you would change this code in order to make it work. So now all the zeros are at the beginning. We want to change the existing code to move zeros to the end of the array. Cool. So one way of doing this would be to not start fast and slow at the beginning and start from the end, and then just go from right to left and do the same swapping, right? Or what we could do, easier way to do this would be just to do if a fast doesn't equal 1, swap the values, right? And if we run this, we see that it works. Zeros are moved to the end. Cool. So that's it for this exercise. Till next time.